Hey, how are you today? My name is Shane, and big fan of the Buffalo Sabres. So hope always springs eternal, but obviously there's a lot of excitement with the 10-game win, and I'm recording this the first day of 2026. Now, for my professional life, I work at a museum and a library and archives. Right, so I love looking at data and bringing people information. I don't know how many hockey videos I will do. Right, I know I was working on one. I'm working on one with the Hockey News yearbooks that come out every year. I have them back to the year 2000. Missing one or two editions, especially when they didn't print them out because of shortened seasons. Right, but what I've done with that, and what kind of sparked my interest was, I'm using from about 5 years ago, I'm using the top 10 prospects, and then I'm seeing where those prospects are currently for every team. So it's pretty interesting to see the trees of where people end up. How many prospects actually ended up with the team that, say, drafted them or traded for them when they were really young. Right? Always been a hockey fan. I played hockey for 13 years. From about 4 to 17. I'm in the Buffalo area, so always been a Sabres fan, and I'm wearing my Craig Ramsey jersey, right, my favorite player of all time. So it's signed by Craig on the back. You can't see it, maybe, I don't know. Plus his line mates of Danny Gare and Don Luce. All right, so that was a great defensive line that really chipped in even 60, 70, 80 points, but they were great defensively. So like every year, each player on that forward line finished with 40 to 65 in the plus minus categories. Anyway, I know there's a lot of channels out there already in the Buffalo market and the Toronto market, which isn't far away. So those are great channels, and I don't want to be stepping on anyone's toes. So I just wanted to bring a very interesting video. The National Hockey League and, TSN and ESPN have talked about parity in the NHL and bringing each team up to a very similar level, and how any team can win on any given night. Well, behind me are the standings, as you can see right here, for the past 20 years of how many teams in each conference were at .500 and below. So I have the Eastern Conference, I have the Western Conference, starting in 2005, going all the way up to 2025 in this season. What I did was at the NHL.com website, you can look at the standings and then pick a date. So each of these dates are from January 1st of that season. Except for the shortened seasons, but even for those, if you go right to the end of the year, they're roughly playing maybe only 6 to 8 more games than what's been played right now. So I would just, for these shortened seasons, I would just go to the end of the season to look at the final standings. And that's how I got those stats during those years. All right, in this season, the 2020-2021 season, we have a bunch of messed up conferences, if I'm not mistaken, named like Toyota or something, and Honda, really strange things, but I still kind of kept them 2 divisions to a conference, 2 divisions to a conference. All right, so you can see that. You can see for the Eastern Conference at or below 500, right? 7, 4, 5. You can see all the way down, a lot of 5s, a lot of 4s. There's an 8. Right, at this time last year in the Eastern Conference. For the Western Conference, you might call it a little more competitive. Right? There seems to be less teams under 500. All right, 4s, a lot of 3s. There's a 6. There's even a 2 in there from the year 2010, 2011. At this time, in the Western Conference in that season, there were only 2 teams under 500. So, as you can see, I left this year's blank so far. So let's take a look. Got on my handy colored chalk here. 6 for the Western Conference. And drum roll, please, a big whopping 0 for the Eastern Conference. I don't imagine that it will finish that way. But again, all of these stats were from the same day in the same season. All right, so it creates some parity there as well, that it cuts across all of these years. So are they achieving, especially in the Eastern Conference, they're achieving some serious parity. And what it does for the fans is, but ultimately for the owners, creates more excitement, gins up more support, bumps up the ticket prices a little bit. And so it ultimately benefits the owners and ultimately then the players. And for us fans, we get to see great hockey. So what, do we have another 4.5 months or so? It's going to be playoff hockey because you are trying to catch multiple teams that are within 1, 2, 3, 4 points of you. Plus also behind you, you've got teams pushing you to keep winning. I don't know how much the overtime loss single point comes into play here, but it's going to make for some interesting hockey this winter and spring. Hope you enjoyed this video. I found that really super interesting that so far, at least in the past 20 years, there has not been a conference that at this point in the season has ever gone over 500. All right, I won't beat a dead horse. I was going to say something about the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I will not. And again, I'll probably be bringing you that video of 5 years ago, top 10 prospects on each team and where they are now. Thanks so much. Please leave your own thoughts about what's going on here that you think, and we'll see you again soon.